ready with me while we talk 100-pound Zepbound weight loss. Mr. Freddie is sleeping peacefully behind me, and we're gonna get ready together while I have workout clothes on and I'm putting makeup on and doing my hair. But nonetheless, I'm getting my workout goals in today. I don't care if I mess up my makeup, I'm getting my workout in. Let's talk 100-pound Zepbound weight loss journey. And on today's episode, I'm gonna talk about, you probably clicked on this video because you saw 100-pound weight loss for Zepbound. And I want to help break this mindset and break the culture of just thinking about weight loss in terms of Zepbound weight loss or WEGOVY weight loss, or if you're on a compound. We're gonna talk today, I polled in my free encouragement group, which is the bomb, about non-scale victories and where it's not scale related. So today's video, yes, we're gonna talk about 100-pound weight loss. Stay till the end, I'll dive more into that. Instead, I have over 160 plus comments from my free group, but other people's non-scale victories that I think it's important for you to hear. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm gonna get ready. We're gonna be learning more about my other group members of what's worked well for them. It's over 160 plus people replied to this, and I think that there's a commonality. As reading that, I was like, there's a commonality and theme you need to know about. If you're on a GLP-1 medication, you need to know about it. As always, all of my products will be linked down in the description link below. Check those out, and all my free resources too. Let's dive in. Putting so much stock into weight loss, I don't think, and I'll use my I statements on this, I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy. I think for me, coming from chronic obesity management treatment, it takes me down a path that can be dangerous. And having worked with, now having been on GLP-1 medication for a year and a half and lost 90 pounds, and now been at a weight stall, I don't think it's a weight stall, friends. I think I'm rocking and rolling. My body's gonna do incredible things. Just you wait here. In the next month, I will be banging out some really cool stuff. But for me, talking about specifically just weight loss is negating the other permanent lifestyle changes I'm making, right? Because Eli Lilly tells us in the literature, we need to be making permanent lifestyle changes. And so if I'm not focusing in on those for diet, exercise, and then also the mindset, I'm gonna add that in as the next one. Man, I wish this muscle was more jacked. It's still flappy, I'm working on that. In my first Pilates private training session, I was so sore afterwards. I've been like icing. I feel like an Olympic athlete. Not quite so Olympic athlete here. So the non-scale victories that we're gonna talk about. First one Lisa said is, my daughter asked if the shirt I was wearing was a shirt I always had. And my answer to her was yes, but I was too fat to ever wear it before. Krista says her non-scale victory is decreased inflammation and reduced pain from muscular dystrophy. I wanna give that one like 10 taps. I think that's amazing. Susan says, wearing a dress I haven't worn in almost 50 years, and it looks so good and feels so great. Y'all, I'm gonna start crying reading those. Like literally, it's making, this is floppy doppy and it's driving me crazy. I'm gonna have tears, and I'm also gonna, also while putting on my curlers. One of mine, and I'll go back to reading it because I can't read and put on curlers at the same time. One of mine is taking my son fishing. Last summer, if you're an OG Countess, and if you're new here, welcome. You can go back to all 300 plus of my videos, 350 plus videos here of my journey of how I've lost weight, how I've fallen, how I've had this weight stall, but how I've gotten back up and I refuse to quit. And here's the thing, the house always wins. The house always wins. I'm the house. I will win. I will win. I told my husband that. I was like, there's no way I'm not doing this. Like, I am all in. I'm all invested. It's hotter than Hades here this summer in Virginia. I'm walking. I'm like getting up early so I can go walking with Mr. Freddie. That's why he's so tired. I'm walking before it gets too hot outside. Like, that's not me. Like, that's permanent lifestyle changes. Like, I'm committed. There's no uncommitment here. I'm so excited about fruit. Like, who is this woman? I'm like, oh, these are these women that I used to kind of like secretly under my breath make fun of, but now I'm like one of these women, and I'm obsessed. I'm like, yay for these women. This is so, now I understand why they were doing all this stuff. Like, it's so awesome. It's so amazing to be taking care of my body. Speaking of which, I bought more dragon fruit. If you didn't see that episode, I'll pin it down below. And if I don't pin it, just remind me. I'll pin the episode down below. It's yellow dragon fruit, not pink dragon fruit. If you have constipation, you won't after having 2 of those. It's a natural laxative. Oh my God. In that video, I had like 4 or 5 of them, and I just could not stop going to the bathroom. And I had to be on set for a client, and I was just continuously running to the restroom. Okay, let's go back to our non-scale victories. I'm not about poop. One of my non-scale victories is I'm outside so much that I now, because I'm walking a bunch, no excuses, and I've gotten a ton of facial SPFs. I've been testing a bunch for you guys. This is one of my favorites because a viewer had recommended it. So if this was you, thank you. It's the Color Science. That's also down on the list below. Protects my face, but it changes to have like a light shade of foundation on it. This one is great. I haven't tried this one yet, but I like usually their other products. Those will be linked down below. Next non-scale victory. Kimberly said last month I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts for coffee and it was National Donut Day. They asked if I would like a free donut and I said, no, thank you. And it didn't take any willpower. I legitimately did not want a donut. Wild. Wow! That is actually wild too, because your girl likes donuts and I completely understand that. Katie says, when I realized I didn't need to go down a size for my CPAP mask, I think that's been the most surprising and hilarious side effect on this journey so far. No more fat face for me. Stephanie said, seeing my video of my dressage horses. You guys know one of my big goals is I want to go horseback riding, and I have a contact number that I'm reaching out to. I've been afraid to, but I'm going to reach out to. I have one locally for horseback riding lessons. So this one's getting me right here in the gut. Seeing one video of my dressage lesson this weekend, I see my saddle now, and my horse is carrying my 37 pounds less on his back. He has to pick his back up. That is almost a bag of feed, which is 50 pounds. I love that, Stephanie. I love that one. Jane says, my biggest non-scale victory was fitting back in my wedding set. I had to take it off. I had to take it off in 2016. Almost couldn't get it off and I had gained so much weight. A couple of months ago, I was able to wear my rings again. 8 years was a long time. Jen says, here's one of the most things I've been laughing at. I think that my arms are just too short to be able to rest comfortably on armrests on planes and in cars without leaning on one of those side or the other. Nope, turns out that when your booty shrinks, shrinks, you can use those arms rests again. So one of mine has been, I'll take my son fishing. And so we did that. By the way, I'm switching concealers. I wanted to test this one. I had been using, I thought I brought it over. Oh, I didn't. Dermablend is great. This is the new pure one. I love the formulation. I don't like the top pops up. Like, watch, are you ready? Jack in the Box. Poke an eye out, honey. But I like the formularity of it. I took my son fishing, and it's physically laborious doing that. Like doing all that. We did it last summer when we went to San Diego. My son wanted to go to San Diego, so for his trip, our like mother-son trip. So we went to San Diego because he wanted to see Alcatraz. And so we went fishing on the San Francisco Bay. It was the most amazing thing. Like that for me, like I bawled like a baby multiple times about what a big victory for that was for me. And so this year when we were in the Outer Banks, I took him on a charter. I'm like, we're gonna go fishing. And it was just him and I because my husband gets really seasick. And so we did it. And it was so cool. And I felt so like, I am woman, hear me roar. Like that was a big non-scale victory for me. Another one is wrapping the towel around my waist. Like legitimately now it like wraps. By the way, if you want bigger towels, because I'm almost 6 feet tall, Costco has the best big towels. When they're there, the big ones, I always buy extra. They're really worth it. Let's go back over to our list. Mary Ellen says, I can fit in restaurant booths, even the really small booths in campers. I don't need a seatbelt extender anymore. I can fit into clothes at the store again. Before I was, I'm gonna cry. I shouldn't be putting on my makeup. These aren't like make because I can completely relate. Before I was almost too big for most plus size departments. My doctor will treat my knees where before my BMI was too high. I can sit comfortably in chairs. Starting weight, 334 pounds. Current weight, 243 pounds. Goal weight, 175 pounds. I'm on dose, 12.5 milligrams, and I've been on the medication since April 2023. Mary Ellen, love you, girl. That's awesome. Angie says, I can get up and down from the floor and play with my grandsons easily. I have less pain from losing extra weight and was praying it helps with my fatty liver, sleep apnea, and high blood pressure and lowers my A1C and high cholesterol. Angie, girl, I'm cheering for you, sweet friend. Dare says, I've said before, but my absolute favorite non-scale victory is I can take my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old to the playground and actually play with them. I can climb, run. This one hits me hard. I can climb, run, and actually fit down the slides. A year ago, I was telling them, sorry, these slides are only for kids. And I didn't want to tell them I couldn't fit. Those moments always made me feel sad and reminded me of my own childhood as my mom also struggled with her weight. Breaking genetic health cycles is something I've always wanted to do, and I finally have the tools to make it. Ooh, I didn't mean to cry. Like, I feel that deep. I feel that deep. Because I feel like I've had pockets with chronic obesity management with my son of where I couldn't do stuff with him. And there was 2 particular moments I can distinctly remember. He was younger, he was like 2 or whatever age that is, where kids run and they don't listen and they just bolt. And my kid bolted and I couldn't catch up with him quickly. And thankfully my husband was there. My husband was able to, the first time, to run ahead of me and like get him before he was going like to cars, like going into danger. And I couldn't catch him. He was too fast for me. And so the second time that happened, I was with my dad, and thankfully my dad was able to get my son. But it was like so sad to me of like, I can't protect my kid. I can't protect my kid. And so now I'm like, oh, I can protect my kid. I can protect my kid, you know, like there's this distinct difference for me now of like, mama bear, like I can protect my kid well. And that is absolutely amazing. Here I turned 2 things. One, I didn't realize how jacked up my pillows were, and 2, I forgot to put on, if you have red, I have red undertones in my skin. I forgot to put this on before I put on my foundation. It helps take the red out. If you are like me, I just have natural broken capillaries on my face. And I am using for my foundation Tirzepatide. Been testing it and like it. This shade's a little bit too light. I have the next one. I'm gonna change it with some bronzer. So I have another one that's darker. I just didn't want to waste this one. And I like it. I like the way that it feels. So going back over to I can protect my kid now. That's like a big non-scale victory. I felt that so deeply in my soul. And the other part, by the way, dear, thank you so much for sharing about breaking the genetic things of it. Same thing in my family. Like my grandmother lost part of her leg from amputation as a result of partially from chronic obesity management, not having it. Here's the Derma blend I meant to tell you guys about. Reading the list, but one of my biggest sources and excitement about non-scale victories and SVs is things that were sources of shame are now, they were bad, now have been made into good things. And y'all, isn't that just the way? Like, that things that were meant for like really evil and now have been turned into like beautiful, awesome things that I felt so disgusting before about some of these things about me now have been such assets and blessings. The relationship that I'm forming with my child, because I'm not having to worry about, like for fishing, just for example, he wanted to go play football with my husband last night and I came out and I like tossed the football for a little bit. Like that never would have happened. And leading by example with that of my kid is not as sedentary, because he watches mom and he knows, why is mom eating her food in front of the kitchen, like, or in front of the TV? That used to be a conversation. And now that's not a well, it's still, he still wants to do it. But for me, it's not like a thing. Like if I'm eating, I'm intentional, I'm focused, I'm enjoying my food. I'm not trying to like wolf it down in front of the television set. Like that is huge, that there's this big relationship shift with food that, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Is another huge one for me. I actually had to pull my BIOPTIMIZERS Magnesium out of my side of the my bedside table. That has been huge, having different sleep as a result of weight loss. And I tracked it with my Oura Ring and without my Oura Ring, the difference with BIOPTIMIZERS on my sleep. I take 2, people are like, when do you take it? 2 a night. And you can do it BIOPTIMIZERS gives you a couple different ways to do it. I do 2 at night to help me fall asleep. Did you know that 70% of people are magnesium deficient? Made a huge difference, and I've tested on my Oura Ring. Like literally I have the facts, the proof is in the pudding. I have the facts from my Oura Ring of what a big difference BIOPTIMIZERS has made on my sleep. But here's the other thing that I didn't know when I started using BIOPTIMIZERS that has been super helpful as part of my non-scale victories is I'm working out more. And the muscle recovery from having magnesium on my muscles, y'all, has made a huge difference. Huge, huge difference. I was doing Pilates. I started doing wall Pilates because of Linda, one of our private group members. And then from that, it advanced. So I'm gonna go to a Pilates class with a reformer. And on the reformer, like the machines where you like throw your legs around and stuff, it was so awesome. And so now I'm taking private Pilates lessons. It's amazing. It's the best workout too, by the way. And it's so much fun. So, but I never would have been able to do that had it not been from the group. But also now my husband, I was showing him some of my Pilates moves of like, you do these, there's certain, I was showing him and he's like, that's a great workout. And I'm like, I know, thank goodness for BIOPTIMIZERS. It is amazing, 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 amazing. we have friends locally that are doctors, and so I was talking about magnesium with them. I'm like, oh my god, it's the best magnesium. I used to take a magnesium that had just one type of magnesium in it. It says 7, and so they switched over, and they have and they're like, a couple weeks ago I'm like, I cannot wait to hear about your sleep score changes. Like, I'm dying to know. I see them this weekend because we're going walking again. Who is this? And so I'm curious to see how their sleep scores are. But BIOPTIMIZERS has been super generous. In the description link, you can go get a free bottle, a 14-day supply, totally free, just for the Countess of Shopping community, and only for a limited time. That deal is going away. So just FYI, if you watch this video in the future and the link doesn't work, sorry, it's for a limited time. But you cannot use my discount code with that. It's just for so some people are trying to do that. I'm like, no, you get the free bottle. That's generous in itself, and then you just pay shipping. It's for US residents only too. I know we have a lot of international folks that are tuning in as well. So just FYI, it's just for USA people. And then the free shipping, you just pay with, it's not free shipping, you need to pay for that too. So the product itself is free. Okay, let's go back over to our non-scale victory. He said, I gained the mobility back after being able to do small things like walk my property. We bought this place 2 years ago, and I could never walk the acreage, and now I can walk all of it. Oh, I love that one. I love that. Courtney says, my pharmacist didn't recognize me at first. She said I look like a whole new person. I can keep up with my son now, and is getting to get up and down off the floor a lot easier. And my favorite shirt is finally fits how it's supposed to as a loose shirt. 6 months ago, it was tight, and I have so many over. Oh, I'm happier, and I feel so much better. I got a promotion at work. I believe because I feel better and I'm performing better at work, and I started a side business. Courtney, I'm proud of you, girlfriend. That's awesome. Jill says the ability to, these are all awesome, by the way. These are all making my heart sing so much. Jill says the ability to climb from stairs from the 2nd to the 6th floor at the hospital for emergencies without getting out of breath. That's a huge when a baby is born unexpectedly and we all have no time to wait to get to the elevator. Appreciate that. As a mom and like who had a NICU baby, I really appreciate that. Carly says being able to walk around Europe all day and not be in pain or out of breath, along with flying and not feeling like I'm stuffed into the seat. Shannon says kicking my food addiction. I've always had a voice inside my head that would convince me to do things that were not beneficial for me, cravings, obsessiveness, etc. That voice is gone and replaced with a new one that is wise, strong, kind, and loving and wants the best for me. And what was a struggle before now comes naturally and more naturally, and able to do it in peace. Diane says, I have, forgive me, I'm gonna mispronounce this, pulmonary arterial hypertension, which is rare and a fatal lung disease. I struggle to breathe when walking upstairs and walking for a few minutes. I cannot exercise much, but Mounjaro has helped me lose 50 pounds. And now I don't need to lug an oxygen tank when I walk 2 minutes to my car after work. Oh, Diane, I'm loving this. I'm loving this, Diane. She said it used to take me 6 minutes with the oxygen tank. I won't be cured, but I feel better than I did last year. And isn't that one of the amazing things of feeling better? Like the confidence that comes with it, feeling better emotionally, physically, all those things, like just feeling better in general. Sherry says, I have won my bra size. I've struggled over the years to buy a good fitting bra with the size I kept returning and throwing in the closet for a day they might fit. They were always too small even after measuring, and they didn't have my size. Now lost inches and lost weight is 45 pounds. I have some that fit. And on the last hook, it's unbelievable to me. Oh, I love that. Luanda says, being able to do the same things as my family on vacation. Oh, I love this one, Luanda. Last year, I slowed them down because I needed frequent breaks or had to go back to the hotel because I ran out of steam. My joints were on fire. Now I can hang in with the best of them. Luanda, I love that one. Karen says, let me get Karen's. Karen says, my 10-year-old granddaughter can wrap her arms around my waist to hug me. Marlene says, I'm getting teary-eyed. I have read all posted so far, and I'm so proud and thrilled for everyone. You inspire me. You all inspire me. Countess of Shopping, I wanted to add one more. I'm debating sharing this one. I'm 56, newly divorced. A man I hadn't seen in a while did a double take and said, damn girl, you got it going on. I was very embarrassed at first, but then I thought maybe 56-year-olds can be attractive. Mind you, COVID took a lot of my hair, and I was just wearing a t-shirt and leggings when he said this. I haven't had a guy flirt in 20 years, and I had a head full of blonde hair. It kind of made me feel good. Oh, I love that one. I love that one. Rebecca says, no more CPAP. I'm wearing my wedding ring again after 10 years, and now it's even loose. Chris says, so many, but the biggest this summer is being able to do very physical things while traveling. At first, I doubted myself that I couldn't do it, but I'm so proud after doing it with ease. Also, I have hooded eyelids, and I've noticed that they've lost fat there. I love that. Jamie, me too, girlfriend. I used to have like, I would have it so I'd get my Botox to like, and I don't really need to do that as much. I still do have somewhat hooded eyes, but I completely can understand that, and I love that, Jamie. Yay, Jamie! Okay. Deb says, clean out my closet. Biggest clothes are gone. First off, I have felt confident enough to let them go and not hang on to them for just in case. Closets and head, which is more space now. I love that so much, by the way. I have the same thing of like, why am I holding on to these clothes? I used to hold on to all of my old clothes for the most part, because I'm like, oh, like secretly, like I've gained all the weight back every single diet I've been on. Like, why would this be any different? But then there came this tipping point of where I was like, oh no, the weight's not coming back. Like, absolutely not. The weight is not coming back. That is not an option. Denny says, my personal NSV, my non-scale victories. 1, being able to cross my legs and sit ladylike. I remember being able to cross my legs and be like, it felt so great, because before it would be like a struggle of like, so me, I can relate to that. 2, not needing a seatbelt extender on the last flight, fitting comfortably in a restaurant and a booth, increasing my walking in distance and endurance, bras fitting correctly and comfortably without spilling out or bulging, buying a smaller size underwear for the first time in 20 years. 7, being able to shop in the non-plus section for clothing. 8, seatbelt fitting across my chest and belly and not choking me. Small but very powerful victories for me. Keep at it, everyone. Oh, I love that, Denny. Jean says, buying clothes that are not plus size section, such a strange feeling after all the years of doing that. I can completely relate to that too. Like, it does feel so weird to be like, oh, all of these clothes that I thought were like forbidden fruits are now not off limits for me, which is amazing. I'm gonna do my eyelashes, and I'm gonna come back to those. 2 things I bought and have tested: the Yves Saint Laurent eyeliner. I'm not a huge fan. I still love my Jane, is it Airedale? I love it. Love it. I think it works just perfectly for eyeliner if you're liking a liquid eyeliner. Viewer comment, but you don't want me to say her first name. My brain actually changed. The happiness thoughts I was having had nothing to do with the actual 12 pounds of weight lost or being in a smaller body. My brain changed, and I started to feel like there was sunshine in my life again. I've been putting on makeup again and starting to, well, hopefully this makeup video is hopefully helpful. Just get ready with me. My brain changed, and I felt like there was sunshine in my life again. I've been putting on makeup again and starting to date after a 3-year break. And I'm feeling alive after a long time of not really living life, just going through the motions. XXOO. So I can completely relate to that 100%. I totally can relate to that, of where I had resolved that my life before taking GLP-1 medication, that I was just going to be obese. And that was the pain and torture of that, which for me, it truly was torture. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It was torturous. To not have that, and to be able to feel like so much hope. It's given me so much hope about my future. I don't know if you guys can relate to that too, of like, there's this hopeful feeling. For us, we have booked a ton of travel. I hadn't wanted to travel for a long time, obviously with like COVID and stuff like that, but in general, like, I didn't think I could move around. My husband's super active, and I knew I couldn't keep up. And now I'm like, oh, bring it on. See, he relates. He's like, oh, when he hears the Count's name, he's like, yeah, the Count's like his favorite person. By the way, these eyelashes are my favorite. They're too long though. The manufacturer changed. So if you bought these off of my Amazon list recently, I am so sorry. They're way too big. Like, they're way too big. So I don't want to hear it from people being like, you have spider eyes. Shh, I like my thick eyelashes, okay? I like it. But these are too big for me. These are too big. So I'm going to link down below on the list. I'll update them to a smaller link, so they're not like caterpillars. Okay, let's keep going back over to our list. Finally being able to cross my legs comfortably. Scott says, went shopping the other day for clothes, down 10 sizes from it's men's, 48 to a 36 waist in 8 months, and have not been that size since college. Christine says, my biggest non-scale victory was the day I convinced myself that I was worth putting myself over everything. Desiring and wanting the best for me could only make me the best person for those all around me. Better daughter, better sister, wife, mom. For years, I've desired others' approval, and I didn't even approve of myself. The day I put myself first, everything changed. I'm easier to love and enjoy. I make myself happy. I desire the best I can give myself, including health, friendships, faith, finances, and family. I've learned there's no shame in this. It's not about being vain. It's about giving people the best version of you. Oh, I can relate to that. The best version of you and being proud of it. Through this process, I've never let my mind wander off the big picture, loving everything about me. The weight was just a part of it. I concentrated on transforming all aspects of my life, physically and emotional body. I treat myself to something special every month, a facial, a body, or mental treatment of some sort. Just keep reminding myself. I love that. Jennifer says, getting confidently into pictures without thinking twice about how I look. Jen says, went to my oncologist recently and my first normal blood pressure reading in 15 plus years. He congratulated me on my weight loss since it also helps to reduce my cancer reoccurrent risk. Bonus, I went to an appointment in a pair of jeans I haven't been able to wear in literally a decade. Kenneth says, A1C normal and my diabetes under control and my labs, cholesterol, triglycerides, HDL, and LDL, all normal. And my body does not ache in the morning. I love that. Marlena says, more fulfilling and frequent intimate time with my husband. Meredith says, best feeling to being able to save my daughter from drowning at the water park. She lost her footing in the pool and I was able to jump in, swim to get her, and get her head above water and swim to the side. Absolutely the best feeling ever. Scary, but knowing I have the strength and the power to lift her 90-pound body was amazing. That's a good one. That's a really good. Mr. Freddie thinks it's a good one too, don't you? We're cleaning today, which is why there's a ton of linen stacked over there too. And if Jimmy's watching, Jimmy, I made my bed for you. Okay, Andrea says 5 weeks ago when I started Zepbound, my daughter was playing with ankle skip ball and I could not hop more than 10 seconds. Yesterday, I skipped for almost 1 minute and was never out of breath. Woo! Angela says, I can do my elliptical for 40 minutes without being out of breath. My blood pressure is down to a point that I am almost off meds. I'm no longer pre-diabetic and my kidney function has improved 13 points. As a bilateral kidney cancer survivor, having 1.5 kidneys left is the best NSV for me. Kelly said, I had blood work done last week and have dropped 263 to 214 for cholesterol, and that's since March. I started on May 6th and my cholesterol hadn't gone down since March because nothing had changed. It's amazing. Cecilia says, after only 8 weeks of being on Zepbound 2.5 milligrams, I was able to cut down half of my blood pressure pill. So looking forward to coming off the meds and shopping at my own closet to wear clothes. I've been telling myself for years if I lose weight, I'd wear next season. That's true. I love that. Brittany says, my fatty liver disease is almost non-existent. Something I've been struggling with for 3 years is getting out of the military. I also have so much more energy to keep up with my kids and my animals. Jessica says, I started wearing my sandals with ankle straps because I can bend over and buckle them and breathe at the same time. It's been 8 years. Yeah, putting on shoes is different too. I hadn't thought about that one. That's a good one. These are all good ones, by the way. All of them are good. Laura says, I'm 45 and the other day a family member told me I look like a teenager again. Wow, what a compliment. I had I can never pronounce this properly. Plantar fasciitis. Oh, sorry, that's not how you pronounce it. All the time, and my knees hurt all the time, and I can wear tall boots again. I've lost 78 pounds since February and I feel amazing. Melissa says, having been able to wrap a towel around and tuck it when getting out of the shower, having my rings resized, putting on sandals from last summer and they were too big. Like, what? I didn't even know that was a thing. Seeing my A1C numbers go down from 10 to 5.4. Carla says, this month of July, I taught myself to swim, bought a pool for our backyard, swim every day, bought myself a mermaid tail, did a photo shoot, threw myself a mermaid party, and swimming around for my 62nd birthday. I never would have done these fun things had I not lost 55 pounds. Carla, happy belated birthday, and I love that so much. Maureen says, outside camera took a picture of some woman at my door at 11 p.m. the other night. I argued with my husband, who's this crazy lady outside of our door? LOL. It's me, LOL. I had to look really hard. That darn dysmorphia. I didn't recognize myself. Shake my head. I've had that too, Maureen. On our ring, we have obviously lots of security cameras at our house. Don't come unannounced. Mr. Freddie won't like it and we will neither. And on our camera, I've had that of like, whoa, I look at it and I'm like, whose bottom is that? And I'm like, oh my God, it's mine. Because my bottom has changed so much, which one of the things I want to talk about, this is not necessarily a non-scale victory, but I like my bottom's changed, and I used to have a very peach big gadunk, and now I've been calling it my paper bottom. I don't have, it's like, and my husband, I was getting down on myself, and he's like, no, think of how amazing that is for you. You've lost so much weight. You can do, and again, it's not about the weight per se, but also the non-scale victory of it is you can physically, you're walking him every morning. I'm lifting weights. Today I'm not going to Pilates, and I do every other day, either weight training or Pilates. I'll do weight training later on. And yes, I'll do weight training with my cute hair and my eyelashes, okay? But like, I don't care about I do care, but I care way less about my bottom being completely not, it's like a ledge. But that's actually okay. Like that wouldn't have been okay on my previous weight loss. This is like, I'm like loving my body more. Okay, let me go back to my foot fell asleep. My foot fell asleep. Lisa says, I'm trying to like wake my leg up. Lisa says, clipping my toenails comfortably, having more energy to handle my toddler's tantrums. I find that too. I'm way more patient as a parent now. I'm having dance parties with her. Also getting my A1C down from 7.3 to 5.2 in 4 months. Taken off Metformin, and the endocrinologist says I'm in diabetic remission. You go, queen. Go, Lisa, go. Vanessa says, I'm in nursing school right now, and we had to practice blood pressure on each other last year, first semester. Well, my school only had regular adult size and no other larger cuffs for the blood pressure. I was humiliated as no one could practice on me, and so also my professor insisted on me trying it on after I said that the 3X will not fit. I went home that night, and it sounds ridiculous, but I wanted to quit out of embarrassment. That doesn't sound ridiculous to me. I get it. I ended up buying a large cuff and taking it to school for my fellow classmates to practice on me. Fast forward today, I no longer need the large cuff and will be donating it to my school so no other students feel humiliated or out of place. Isn't that one of the things too I can really relate to that, Vanessa, and thank you for sharing your story and being so brave. The embarrassment of these situations, for me, I can relate to that. I have a lot of them of where I felt humiliated, and you didn't say humiliated, but I'm saying that for me, I've had humiliating situations of where going to go ride a roller coaster and I could not fit. I had to get off. I haven't been back to a roller coaster place since. Went to Disney, but I didn't ride the ride. I didn't want to ride the rides because I was afraid. And we're going in 3 weeks to go ride roller coasters. I'm still afraid, actually. I'm still like that like traumatized me. I was so mortified. Nobody remembers and nobody cares. Nobody remembers like the woman like 5 years ago who couldn't fit. Like I remember though, you know. And so I feel like this trip going to roller coasters is like vengeance of like I can do this. I can do this. Sherry says, I'm starting to look in the mirror and not completely hate the reflection I see. I can't wait for the day when you say, I love the reflection that I see. It's coming for you. It's coming. And not because of the weight loss. It's because on the inside, you love the inside too. Paula says, I walk the dogs and the grandkids a lot during the week. And my little grandson, who's 4, would always want to race in the last part of grass before we hit our street. Well, he would run and I would just walk fast because the weight I wasn't able to run, and I wanted to, but not anymore. I beat him, LOL. Oh my God, I love that. And that made him mad. What a great feeling of being unhindered to where I could go run, and with grandsons, it's a blessing and a bonus. Mandy says, got out of the kayak without help, being more active with my son, swim in the ocean without getting so worn out. So excited to see when I can lose another 60 pounds. Christine says, I just remembered over 30 years, I was the person who caused everyone in our party to wait at the table at the restaurant because I could not sit in the booth. I was an outcast that made us wait an extra 30 minutes. No more of that. We actually celebrated for the first time we sat in a booth. I no longer sit at tables. I request booths and have plenty of room to spare. Christina, I love that one. I love that one. Chrissy says, so many NSVs. I had a raincoat I bought 2 years ago for work, but could never zip it up comfortably. Well, now it's loose, and my bra size has decreased for the first time in 10 years. I can move the straps and Birkenstocks down a notch. My wedding rings need to be resized. That's the best NSV. I'm not ashamed of my body anymore, and having pictures taken. I can relate to that one too. 45 pounds lost. So excited to see how I feel after the next 30 pounds. Sierra says, I have not binged or restricted in about 2 months and have been starting the medication. A vicious cycle was controlling my life completely vanished. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like my goals are achievable and off the scales because of it. Kim says, shopping is in my own closet because I don't have food noise. I'm more easygoing with my family. It's so wild. Crystal says, when you go down a size in your shoes because you don't have wide feet anymore. Bringing a laundry basket up the stairs without resting on my stomach. And I know this is weird, but it's an amazing feeling. I didn't even realize that it had stopped. Jesse had said that. Diane says, going from a slow road bicycle rider who had great difficulties going up my hill on my bike, it's much easier and faster, and seeing hills as a fun challenge. I know that sounds stupid, but it's one of the hundreds of things of losing 95 pounds has brought in my life. For me in the Outer Banks, I can relate to that. There's a hilly area that we always bike ride in pretty much every day. And I couldn't do it before. And this year I was like, I'm doing it. And I did. And my son's like, Mom, you're fast. I'm like, I know. She is moving. I like that one quite a bit. Sierra says, another NSV that's funny and true. My electric bill has gone down. I'm not having to run my air conditioning at 65 degrees 24/7 because I was feeling constantly sweaty, hot, and not having hot flashes that knocked the bill way down. I love that one, Sierra. That's a good one. That's what she says, LOL. Carrie says, getting on an airplane without having to embarrassingly ask for a seatbelt extender. Flight attendants are always so kind, but it feels better not having to do it. Catherine said, I recently cut 8 inches off my hair because my face looked like me again. I wasn't chunkier before, and having so much inflammation from eating nasty carbs, box crackers were my downfall, and I usually consumed late at night. Catherine, I can relate so much to that one. Meat and crackers. That's what we don't have them in the house now, just because, and I would eat them late at night, and like it was easy to dispose of. I don't do that anymore. Kelly, my husband can finally lift me. Oh, I love that one. Nikki says, I can no longer get stuck in a regular sized bathroom stall. Dang door used to get in the way. LOL. Jennifer says, sitting in the driver's seat, seatbelt buckled, seeing my entire lap, thighs and all, and the seatbelt not cutting into me or uncomfortably. Yolanda says, when those pants start falling off, that's my favorite, and love seeing my blood pressure numbers regulate consistently and normally. Loose pants, but that's immensely satisfying. Yes, I agree. That's how I got on Good Morning America. It was my pants were so loose. I was like holding them out. That was the clip that was on Good Morning. I love that. I love when pants are loose. Lucy says, my feet don't hurt anymore, and my carpal tunnel on my wrist is completely gone. I'm super excited to hear more studies come out, by the way, about inflammation. This is like the theme that I'm paying. It was what, like, there's several themes of these, but that's one of them is the lack of it, not having inflammation, or it's gone down dramatically. Christina says, well, I'm slow, sometimes steady user. I actually hit a stall on 5 milligrams and can't titrate up to 7.5 milligrams. Oh, I can't wait to titrate up to 7.5 milligrams coming up. As an ovarian survivor and forced into menopause, I can't lose hope. I'm alive to try. And I'm currently, Christina, I love you, girl. I love you so much. She says, I'm currently 18 pounds down since June. I'm trying to be okay with that because life can be life and sometimes, LOL. Non-scale for me is a seatbelt on a flight without an extension, being able to loop the second hole in my Apple Watch band. Walking 5 miles without being winded also feels so much lighter. That scale can go fly a kite. God bless you all. Love and light. Kelly says, so many, going to the baseball stadium and fitting into the seat. My knees, joints, hips feel better. I can cut and paint my toenails. Marlene says, crossing my legs. I'm feeling okay wearing leggings in front of people. I mean, that's crazy. Mine was shorts. I can wear shorts now. Not all the time. I don't feel comfortable all the time, but I can wear shorts, which has been nuts. Marlene says, my bras are way too big. I went from a C cup to a B cup. She says, that's a non-scale victory for me. My son went to Buc-ee's and wanted to bring me a souvenir t-shirt. He called to ask my size. I guessed 2X. I'm wearing it now. It's like a mini dress. I should have gone 2 sizes lower. I can get out of the car in cramped parking spots before I'd have to open the door all the way. Being able to wear bracelets, I just couldn't do that a year ago. I'm seeing my clavicle again. I love that too. I'm like, here's my clavicle. I'm always moving. A year ago, I was lucky to do 5,000 steps a day. I now walk my dog 1 to 1.5 miles every day. I exercise 6 days a week. Marlene, I love that. Holly says, when getting the bath towel goes all the way around, you have extra room to spare. I love that. Kendra says, way more confidence myself. AJ says, for me, it's the mental thing. The food chatter can focus in on other things and eat a little of something and not overdo it. Diana says, lots more energy and confidence. I can cross my legs, no more back pain. Victoria says, 12 weeks, 3 months of Mounjaro, 2.5 milligrams. Fasting glucose went from 178 to 114. A1C went to 7.4 to 6.2. Dee says, my knees don't hurt anymore. Melissa says, I'm not embarrassed to hang my clothes on the line now because they're smaller and the shadows look so much better. LOL. I love that. Melissa. Veronica says, my blood pressure meds are cut in half, hoping to get off of them and completely by my doctor appointment by September. Crystal says, my desire to do new things has returned and I'm not afraid to try them or be held back by my weight. My fatty liver, Sherry says, my fatty liver ALP1 numbers went down close to being in a normal range. Marjorie says, I actually feel comfortable in my clothes and don't have to adjust every minute. Freedom! Nikki says, being best non-scale victory so far, my husband and daughter have been so supportive of my journey. It's been great. This week has been different though. I've been making comparison collages. The first week and the current week has helped me see the other changes in my body. When I showed my 16-year-old daughter this week's photo, her face broke into a huge smile. She looked at me and said, I'm so proud of you. Mama, you're doing so good. I love that. It was the best feeling in the world to have my daughter tell me she was proud of me and for the hard work and dedication. I'm tearing up and I could not stop myself from squeezing her so tight. Best feeling ever. Nikki, thank you for sharing. I love that one. Chazzy says, I can shower without a shower chair. That's a good one. Sienna says, these are all good. These are all good. Sienna says, I can wear my wedding ring. Haven't worn it in years. Rhonda says, I don't recognize myself in my reflections. Cynthia says, I had to go one more notch on my wristwatch, and it's the little things. Sienna says, I've been able to go off my blood pressure medicine. Charity says, my feet don't hurt. Jean says, I feel my walking faster. Angie says, so much more energy, and I'm no longer snoring. David says, I'm now lying more on my driver's license. And no more lying now on my driver's license. It's actually in the opposite direction. I was 250 pounds. License said 235 pounds. I'm now 175 pounds. Rita says, not needing a seatbelt extender in the car, being able to put socks on. HW was 435 in January 2024. Then starting weight on Zepbound, 395 of March 2024, and current weight 355 pounds. Rita, I'm so proud of you, my friend. You're a blessing, Rita. Love you. Courtney says, my 2-year-old grandchild picked up my green snake in the backyard yesterday, and I actually ran across the yard without huffing and puffing, although I was yelling. It's a funny one. Julie says, did international flight this summer without having to ask for a seatbelt extender for the first time. Went on a small boat tour. I was able to get on and off the boat without embarrassment. Last year, I wouldn't have even gone on the boat. Isn't that interesting how many life things we missed out on? But was able to get off the lounge chair without help. I put my socks on myself, a huge relief. I can fit in a booth in a restaurant. I was able to walk around Europe without having to sit down every 10 minutes looking for a bench. Starting weight, January 2013, January 2024. I've lost 57 pounds, 100 pounds to go on Zepbound 10 milligrams. Pia says, being able to teach my students without getting winded and needing to sit down. Laura says, my favorite capri jeans didn't get on my hips 2 months ago, and now they button up and but not zip. Jasmine says, I'm able to wear clothes in my closet without having to worry I can fit into them comfortably. Samantha says, non-scale victory, sitting in my office chair, not having the arms touching my sides. Yessie says, looking gorgeous on my right dress and being a queen because I'm able to lose the weight and more energetic. Regina says, cruised to Alaska and got off the port and walked and shopped all day out, and I didn't have to sit. No more pain and being able to pop into boutiques for stuff that fits. Kate says, my biggest non-scale victories is my plantar fascia is all but healed. I cannot only fly without a seatbelt extension, I can actually cross my legs comfortably in economy class seat. I can exercise without needing an inhaler. And more than anything, I can keep up with my kids and my grandkids. Forgive me if I mispronounce. Cledan says, going from an extra large to a size small top. I haven't worn the small top in 11 years. Jennifer says, no longer stuffing my clothing anxiety and changing my clothes many times a day before leaving the house. Many freedoms of mental relief and physical relief. Terry says, well, there's many things. I've given up blood giving blood, they can now see my veins. When I sit and close my legs, there's a space for the cell phone that can fall through, LOL. I feel a lump in between my breasts and I was worried. My doc said that's where the sternum starts. Who would have thought? Going from metabolic age of 69 on the scale to 45, real age is 68. My boyfriend says he's proud to be with me. I'm very blessed and very thankful. Jenny says, a new bra cup, 3 sizes smaller and 3 band size smaller. 1 size down on pants, I can reach back and unhook my bra. Thank you for this. I'm stalled at 34 pounds lost. However, I know it will continue. It's important to see these wins. Amy says, no more hot flashes. Amy says, no more CPAP machine. My doctor is proud of me, says Diana. Laura says, my biggest non-scale victory is being able to transfer in and out of my wheelchair without minimal help. I love that. I love that. Robin says, not needing a seatbelt extender on a plane and crossing my legs for the first time in years. Angela says, no seatbelt extender on an airplane. It's the best. Dee says, being able to stand in the shower for more than 5 minutes and fitting in a chair arms at my doctor's office. Jennifer says, after my first 10 pounds in 2 weeks, my A1C has already dropped to 0.3 pounds. My fasting blood sugar is almost normal again. Just imagine how healthy I'll feel after losing 65 pounds. Kristen says, I can cross my legs and do yard work. Alan says, because of Zepbound, I walked past a dessert potluck at work yesterday. That's a good one. Lisa says, dropped 3 sizes. Y'all, we have so many. We have so many. More than I anticipated. There's more. But I was going to stop, but I want to keep going because we're almost done. Lisa says, I dropped 3 sizes, have lost an excess of 20. These are so amazing. 25 inches overall. Having to move my seat up and my steering wheel down due to the extra space. Catherine says, oh, that's what NSV stands for, non-scale victory. I'm learning more acronyms than I ever did for the state of, for working for the state. Alexa says, I can lift 10 pounds weights now and I can exercise 7 days a week. Who am I? Alexis, love you, girl. I love Alexis is working out and she shows her pictures and it's one of my favorite things. Sonia, truly it is. It motivates. I'm like, I need to go work. Alexis is just a particular type of exercise I don't want to share, but I love it. Sonia says, no seatbelt extensions on the last flight. Catherine says, I'm not too embarrassed to get in the pool and I'm going to start rock climbing soon. Thelma says, starting body 20 workouts. It's electric muscle stimulation. I can be brave like the Countess of shopping, becoming a Pilates girl. You know, it really is a brave feeling. It's like so scared to do stuff and being like, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to do it. Candy says, crossing my legs, getting off blood pressure medication, walking 10,000 steps daily. I love my time. Self-confidence, it's worth it. Marlia says, loose jeans. Paula says, drop to size in clothing. Shannon gave a woo. Lisa says, I pooped. It was so simple, but I pooped. Cassie says, I can bend over and shave my legs without feeling winded. Candy says, airplane seat belts fits. Linda says, my knees don't hurt as much. Watch band down 2 notches. My bracelets fit. Judy says, wearing my wedding rings. Wendy says, I bought an extra large shirt for an interview for the first time in 12 years. Shannon says, I can kayak now. Jenny says, no longer need a seatbelt extender on an airplane. Maria says, being able to cut my own toenails, not having an extender for my car, being able to walk up the stairs without getting tired halfway through, less back pain, more energy, my clothes fit. There's a long list. I lost a lot of weight, 50 pounds lost. I started April 1st. The non-scale victories are just as important and maybe sometimes more important because it's never about the scale for me. It was about a quality of life. I can relate to this, about a quality of life. It's a quality of life, of dignity, a life of dignity. She's not saying dignity, I am. Maria went on to say, and being able to do things that my weight has not stopped me from doing. I'll hopefully be ready to go on vacation to Europe by next spring. Kelly says, reduction of blood pressure medicine for me for the first time in 15 years. And if I missed one of yours, it probably is because the time I'm filming this, if you wrote this in the group and I didn't say your name, by the time I filmed this, I probably missed it. So I didn't want to miss anybody. I want to be intentional for it to be inclusive. That's always my goal, is to be inclusive. Friends, it's not about the scale. And so for people who clicked because I said 100-pound weight loss, which is my goal, it's not about the scale number. It is, but it isn't. It's way more than that. And we are so shortchanging ourselves if that is our focus. Those limiting beliefs, it's way more about that. The dignity and quality of life I'm living now, I feel like. Before it was just existing. And it sounds cliche and trite, but it's true. I am living now. I got a lot to live for. A lot to live for. I will link all of my makeup stuff down below. I use this hairspray, by the way, or not hairspray, it's heat protection for the heat with my curlers. I like it, but I really like Color Wow. So if you're looking at something, I know some people buy the products I recommend. I like this one. It came in a bundle pack that I bought for the, I really like this hairbrush. It's the FHI hairbrush. The spray's great, but I like Color Wow better. Just FYI, for heat protection, if you're doing anything on your hair, put heat protection on or you'll fry it. And get your free BIOPTIMIZERS. I'll link that down below. Magnesium. It's a free bottle for the Countess of shopping community. You pay for the shipping though. It's just for US. Do not use any additional codes with it. It's super generous. He's going to start barking here in a minute. So 2 things. One, your accountability question. Your accountability question day, we're going to switch it up. If you didn't tell me your non-scale victory, I want to know. Tell me down below. That's your accountability question. And 2, your emoji of the day is going to be thumbs up. Thumbs up, and that tells me that you made it this far in the video. That's like our bat signal to each other that you made it this far in the video. So sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. People are going through a lot, clearly, as you can see. I'm Countess of shopping, count my blessings because life is delicious. Let's go live. Love you guys so much.